Welcome back to Mac Talks Football, and Chelsea have made their first signing of the season. It looks like Liam Delap is going to join Chelsea from Ipswich Town for a reported fee of £30 million. The deal is progressing quite quickly. It could be announced, as quickly as tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Personal terms have been agreed. The fee with the clubs have been agreed as well. And it feels like Delap is going to be a Chelsea player quite quickly. I think it is a really a great signing in my opinion. They really need a lethal finisher at the top of their attack. I think the team that they have currently, they actually miss a finisher. I no disrespect to Nicholas Jackson, but I still don't think like he is the guy to lead Chelsea to supposed Premier League glory or a European glory. They need a really good finisher up front, and Delap, it feels like it's gonna be it's gonna turn out to be a really good player for them. He's just 22 years of age at the moment. He was amazing in the Championship. He was amazing in the Premier League this season as well. 12 goals in the Premier League for Ipswich Town, for a team that really did not do that well. And it was always expected that he was going to leave. They put a clause in his contract that if he if Ipswich get relegated, Delap is going to be allowed to leave. There was a 30 million release clause, and Chelsea have activated that release clause. There were other teams interested in the race as well. Manchester United were there. A couple of other Premier League, I think Brighton were interested as well. Newcastle have wanted, there was a rumor that if Isak decides to leave, they might go in for him. But Isak, I don't think is going to leave. Newcastle have the Champions League football, so it feels like Isak is going to stay. So Newcastle backed out. The main fight, it looked at the end, it was between Manchester United and Chelsea, and really the prospect of playing in the Champions League has been a big factor for Delap in joining Chelsea, and that is why that Europa League final was very important for Manchester United and Spurs in a way as well, because now, as you said, after the final, that they now have the allure of playing in the Champions League. They now have that pull, and Manchester United unfortunately have not. So you are going to see a lot of times in the summer when Manchester United are in for a player, and they have a competition from a fellow Premier League club who are in the Champions League, or somebody else in Europe who are in the Champions League. You are going to see the targets of Manchester United deciding to go elsewhere because they want to play in the Champions League. I think this is the tip of the iceberg for Manchester United this summer. You are going to face quite a lot of these circumstances, a lot of these situations where you are going to be like, this was the player that we wanted, but unfortunately they have chosen to go to your rivals. This is a part and parcel of the game. For Delap, I mean, I understand the move. He's just 22 years old. He's going into the team, which, if you look at majority of the Chelsea players, I mean, most of them are like under 25. So they have a really young team. He's gonna go and play with them. I said last season as well, what Chelsea need is stability, and they are getting that under Maresca. I'm really happy finally that Bolly has some sense in his mind. He has given him, I really thought that they were gonna sack him early on, even despite him getting the Champions League. But he has been given, they are not, and he's been given full confidence, and he's got the full backing of the board. He has brought them in Champions League, and the squad that he has, he's already identified the players that are going to stay with him. And if you look around, I mean, you have a player like Palmer, you have players like Neto, who are always gonna produce for you, and you're bringing in somebody like Delap. I think that relationship between Palmer and Delap is going to be really interesting. He's going to feed them the ball. Their wide players Chelsea have. They are trying to bring in more players as well. But still, the squad that they have, it is a really a great squad in my opinion. And Delap is going to be it's going to be benefited from other players that are going to be around him. The playing style is sort of similar as well. Both of them like to play that fast point pressing football that Maresca he's played that at Ipswich as well. So it's not gonna take him that much to adjust, in my opinion. And for a 30 million striker for English player at just 22 years of age, I mean, it is a steal for Chelsea. They are going to give him a long contract. That's what the policy for Chelsea has been. They are going to give him like a 6-7 year old contract. If it doesn't turn out to be a good situation for them, they can go ahead and sell him later on, because the value of being an English player is always going to be high in the market. So that's it's a good deal in every term of the way you look at it. I mean, Chelsea are getting a really good player that is gonna improve them. As I said before, they really needed a striker. I said this the entirety of that last season, that unfortunately they don't really have a focal point up front, and with Delap coming in, you are going to have that. I mean, 6 foot 6'1" the kid is, so you always you can expect that physical presence in the box, that not only is going to help him. Again, players like Palmer, who are constantly in the box. He can be that guy, heading the ball in, and the midfielders are going to make the late runs. He's going to be really helpful for them. And Enzo Fernandez is going to be really happy to have a player like that when he makes those late runs, and you get that the physical presence. When the long ball comes in, he can head them down, and the players making the runs, they can come in and they can be able to take that long shots as well. And he's not going to only be good on the offensive side. Defensive wise, being the big guy is going to help out in defense as well. So Maresca has gone in. He has recruited a really good striker for the club. And for Delap, as they already say, it's a big step in his career. He's going to come into Chelsea. He's going to play in the Champions League. He's going to fight for the title, because that is Chelsea's ambition next season. They really want to be in the talk for the title. I still think it's too early in my opinion, but you never know, anything can happen in football. But they are going to be the Champions League, so that's a massive thing. And then you go look at Ipswich. I mean, they are going to go down. That their money that they got they had for coming to the Premier League is not going to be there in the Championship. It is and Championship is a really brutal league, so they are losing one of their important players, but they are getting a good amount of money. I mean, £30 million for Liam Delap at the moment. They are going to be really happy about it. If they're going to stay in the Premier League, of course, the price was going to be really high, but now because they have gone down, they are just going to get 30 million. But I still think that 30 million is a big amount for Ipswich. They can go ahead and reinvest that in the squad and try to come back into the Premier League as quickly as possible. It is very harder, very hard to do that, to come back directly back into the Premier League. But it will be interesting to see what they do. But on a whole, I mean, if I'm being very honest, the entirety of the three parties are going to be really happy about it. Ipswich get a really good, a good amount for a player that wanted to leave. It was already decided that he was going to leave, so it's not a big deal. It's not a surprise. Chelsea get a really young and hungry English striker. He's going to, improve their team. And then the final thing is. The final thing, of course, for Delap as well. I mean, that's a really special thing, that he's going to Chelsea to play in the Champions League. So overall, a really good deal, and I think it will be quite a fun time for Delap, if I'm being very honest with you. That is it for me. Let me know what you guys think of the deal. Do you think it's a good signing for Chelsea, or do you think they should have gone for somebody else? Let me know in the comment section below. Like the video, share it as well, click on the notification bell, and of course subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers before the Champions League final. It looks like it's not going to happen, unfortunately. Just 2 days remaining and about 20 subscribers remaining, but still I hope so. Please go ahead and subscribe and help the channel out. Until next time, bye bye.